Canto 30. About 6,000 miles away from here the sixth hour burns, and even now this world inclines its shadow almost to a level bed, when, deep in intervening air above us, begins such change that here and there, at our depth, a star is lost to sight. And as that brightest handmaid of the sun advances, the sky extinguishes its lights, even the most beautiful, one by one. Not otherwise the victory that revels in eternal joy around the point that overcame me, and seems enclosed by that which it encloses, little by little faded from my sight, so that, compelled by seeing nothing and by love, I turned my eyes to gaze on Beatrice. If all things said of her up to this point were gathered in a single hymn of praise, it would be paltry, matched to what is due. The beauty that I saw transcends all thought of beauty, and I must believe that only its maker enjoys it completely. I declare myself defeated at this point more than any poet, whether comic or tragic, was ever thwarted by a topic in his theme. For, like sunlight striking on the weakest eyes, the memory of the sweetness of that smile deprives me of my mental powers. From the first day when in this life I saw her face until my vision of her now, pursuit of her in song has never been cut off. But now I must desist in my pursuit, no longer following her beauty in my verse, as every artist, having reached his limit, must. Thus I leave her to more glorious trumpeting than that of my own music, as, laboring on, I bring my difficult subject toward its close. With the voice and bearing of a guide who has discharged his duty, she began. We have issued from the largest body to the heaven of pure light, light intellectual, full of love, love of true good, full of joy, joy that surpasses every sweetness. Here you shall see both soldieries of paradise, one of them in just such form as you shall see it at the final judgment. Like sudden lightning that confounds the faculty of sight, depriving eyes of taking in the clearest objects, thus did a living light shine all around me, leaving me so swathed in the veil of its effulgence that I saw nothing else. The love that calms this heaven always offers welcome with such greetings to make the candle ready for its flame. No sooner had these few words reached my mind than I became aware of having risen above and well beyond my powers. And such was the new vision kindled within me, that there exists no light so vivid that my eyes could not have borne its brightness. And I saw light that flowed as flows a river, pouring its golden splendor between two banks, painted with the wondrous colors of spring. From that torrent issued living sparks, and on either bank they settled on the flowers, like rubies ringed in gold. Then, as though intoxicated by the odors, they plunged once more into the marvelous flood, and as one submerged, another would come forth. The deep desire that now inflames and prods you to understand at last all that you see, pleases me the more it surges. But you must drink first of these waters before your great thirst may be satisfied. Thus the sun of my eyes spoke to me. Then she continued, the river, the topazes that enter and leave it, and the laughter of the meadows are all shadowy prefaces of their truth. Not that these things are in themselves unripe, but because the failure lies with you, your vision is not yet strong enough to soar. No infant, waking up too late for his accustomed feeding, will thrust his face up to his milk with greater urgency than I, to make still better mirrors of my eyes, inclined my head down toward the water that flows there for our betterment. And no sooner had the eaves of my eyelids drunk deep of that water Then to me it seemed it had made its length into a circle. Then, like people wearing masks, once they put off the likeness not their own, in which they hid, seem other than before. The flowers and the sparks were changed before my eyes into a greater celebration, so that I saw before my very eyes both courts of heaven. O splendor of God, by which I saw the lofty triumph of the one true kingdom, grant me the power to tell of what I saw. There is a light above that makes the Creator visible to every creature that finds its only peace in seeing Him. It spreads itself into so vast a circle that its circumference would be larger than the sphere that is the sun. All that is seen of it comes as a ray reflected from the summit of the primum mobile, which draws from this its motion and its power. And as a hillside is mirrored by the water at its foot, as if it saw itself adorned when it is lush with grass and flowers, so I saw, rising above the light and all around it, mirrored in more than 1,000 tears, all those of us who have returned on high. And if the lowest of its ranks encloses a light so large, how vast is the expanse containing the farthest petals of this rose. Within that breadth and height, my sight was not confused, but shared the full extent and quality of that rejoicing. There, near and far, do neither add nor take away, for where God unmediated rules, natural law has no effect. Into the yellow of the sempiternal rose, which rises in its ranks, expands and exhales fragrances that praise the sun's perpetual spring. I, like a man who is silent but would speak, was led by Beatrice, and she said, "Behold how vast the white-robed gathering. See our city with its vast expanse. See how many are the seats already filled. Few are the souls still absent there. And in that great seat which draws your eyes for the crown already set above it, before you shall dine at this wedding feast, shall sit the soul of noble Henry, who on earth as emperor shall attempt to set things straight for Italy before she is prepared. Blind cupidity, bewitching you, has made you like the infant, dying of hunger, who shoves his nurse's breast away. At that time the prefect of the sacred court will be a man who will not make his way on the same road by daylight as he will by night. But short shall be the time God suffers him in holy office, for he shall be thrust down there where Simon Magus gets what he deserves, and push that fellow from Agnani deeper down."